Welcome back guys. A couple of weeks ago I showed you how to use DLSS for upscaler in conjunction with FSR frame generation in Lords of the Fallen version 2. I used the Epic Games version of the game. On that video many people told me that the in-game DLSS setting was not showing up in the PC Gamepass version of the game. I eventually tested the game and found this information to be correct. It seems the PC Gamepass version of the game is missing DLSS plugin. I tested the game on my Windows PC that has a Ryzen 5700X 3D processor and an RTX 2070 Super GPU. In-game DLSS setting was missing even for me. Now this game supports FSR 3.1 but the upscaler is not decoupled from FSR frame generation. FSR upscaler setting does show up on PCs with RTX GPUs but the frame generation setting does not show up. It can be unlocked very easily by using a launch argument. What I am going to do is use FSR Upscaler to activate Optiscaler Mod, then use Optiscaler Mod to replace FSR Upscaler with DLSS Upscaler and then enable the in-game FSR frame generation implementation. With this method, NVIDIA Reflex won't work, which helps in cutting down the latency. So make sure to target a minimum of 60 as the base FPS before using frame generation. Game supports easy anti-cheat, so I'll be disabling it in order to use Optiscaler. This means you won't be able to play the game in online mode with the mod install. Hopefully the developers will fix this issue soon. In the meantime, you can use the mod. Before showing you the tutorial process, would like to thank keymailer and Xbox for providing me with a free monthly subscription of PC Gamepass. This subscription gives us access to hundreds of games. We can play these games for as long as we want until our subscription expires. Games from first party Microsoft Studio and even third party studios are included with PC Game Pass. Even EA Play membership is included. We get to play many AAA games day one of the release like Doom, The Dark Ages, Oblivion, Remastered, etc. etc. I'll be using Optiscaler's Daria build version 0.7.7 Preview 9. You can download it for free from Optiscaler's GitHub. I'll give its link in the description. Just expand the asset section, click on the .7z link here. The game is shipped with an older version of DLSS Upscaler. I think it's version 3.1. I'll manually update it to version 310.2.1. Just download the latest version from Tech Power Off's website. Click on download here. Then click on any of these servers. The download will start. Need to set the model preset to K in order to activate the transformer model of DLSS 4. We can verify these details using DLSS debug overlay. I'll enable the overlay by executing this registry code provided by Emos. Copy these lines. Create a new text file anywhere on your PC. Name it anything you want. I'll just name it as overlay. Change the extension from .txt to .reg. Hit enter. Yes, right click, open with notepad. Paste the lines here. Click on file, click on save, close and run this registry file. This will enable the DLSS debug overlay. If you want to disable it, just replace the number 4 here with 0 like this. Click on file, click on save, close and run this registry file. I'll revert the change as I want to enable the DLSS debug overlay. Right click, open. Okay, that's it. Now I'll install Optiscaler Mod. Open the mod's archive file, copy the highlighted files, 2 of them. Need to paste them in the games installed directory. Open Xbox PC app, go to your library, select the game from here, click on the 3 dots. Click on manage, click on files, click on browse. Open the games install folder. There it is. Open content folder. Open LOTF2 folder. Open binaries folder. WinGDK folder. There's the game's main.exe file. Paste the mod files here. Just change the name of Optiscaler.dll to dxgi.dll. Hit enter. Open Optiscaler.ini file. Just set TX12 upscaler to DLSS. You need to set FG type to no FG. Won't be using Optiscaler FG. We'll be using the in-game FG. Click on file, click on save. That's it, we are done here. Close. Now I'll manually update DLSS Upscaler. Open the Upscaler's archive file that you downloaded earlier. Copy this DLL file nvngx_DLSS. Open the games installed directory. I'll show you where to paste it. Content folder, LOTF2 folder, plugins folder, DLSS folder, binaries folder, third party folder, Win64 folder. There's the game's DLSS Upscaler file. version 3.1.30, replace it with the latest version. So the PC Game Pass version of the game does come with DLSS Upscaler DLL file. It's just that it's missing out on the DLSS plugin. That's why we don't have access to DLSS settings even on PCs with RTX GPUs. It's not a mandatory requirement to enable hardware accelerated GPU scheduling setting for using FSR frame generation, but if you have an RTX GPU, it's recommended to enable the setting. Right click anywhere on the desktop, then click on display settings, click on graphics, click on advanced graphics settings. From here, enable hardware accelerated GPU scheduling setting. If your monitor supports VRR, enable the setting as well. Now I'll enable VSYNC and low latency mode settings from NVIDIA control panel. Click on manage 3D settings, click on program settings. From this drop down bar, select the game, Lords of the Fallen. Scroll down until you find low latency mode setting, just set it to ultra, scroll down to the end. Enable VSYNC from here, apply the changes. NVIDIA control panel VSYNC combined with ultra low latency mode setting will cap the FPS at a value slightly lower than your display's max refresh rate value. For example, if your display supports up to 144Hz refresh rate, FPS will get capped at around 138. My monitor supports up to 240Hz refresh rate, so the FPS will get capped at 225. It helps in producing a smooth looking animation with low latency. My monitor is G-Sync compatible. I'll enable the corresponding settings for it. Click on Setup G-Sync here. Enable the following settings. Enable G-Sync, G-Sync compatible. Enable for full screen mode. Enable settings for the selected display model. I'll also enable G-Sync compatible indicator. This step is optional. Click on display here and check this setting, G-Sync compatible indicator. That's it. This game supports easy anti-cheat. We need to disable it in order to use Optiscaler Mod. This means you can't use the mod with the game's online mode. I know it's disappointing. Hopefully the developers will fix this issue soon. I'll show you how to disable EAC. Open the game's install directory. You need to create a bat file. Lords of the Fallen, content, LOTF2, binaries, WinGDK. In this directory, create a new text file. You can name it anything you want. I'll just name it as run game. Change its extension from .txt to .bat. Hit enter. Yes. Right click. Select edit in notepad. Just paste these lines. I'll provide the lines in the description of the video. You can copy the lines from there and paste them here. We'll be using the launch argument .FSRFG to unlock the in-game FSR frame generation setting. Click on file, click on save, close. Now whenever you want to launch the game, just run this bat file. Do not launch the game from Xbox PC app, otherwise Optiscaler Mod may not work. Right click, open. We're in the menu. Yeah, you can see FPS is capped at 225. This means a combination of NVIDIA control panel VSYNC and ULLM is working. In-game settings, Full HD resolution, VSYNC off, FSR3 enabled. Using its quality preset. Yeah, we do have access to FSR frame generation setting, all thanks to the bat file. I'll just disable FSR frame generation for the time being. Sharpness can be adjusted. Graphics, apply. I have set everything to high except for post-processing quality. Just set it to low. Motion blur, film grain, chromatic aberration disabled. Umbral distortion effect enabled. We are in. Open Optiscaler menu now. Press the insert keyboard key. There it is. From this drop down bar, make sure DLSS Upscaler is selected. Apply. You can see DLSS Upscaler's information in the DLSS debug overlay. Render preset is set to K, version 310.2.1. Auto exposure setting is off. You need to enable this setting from Optiscaler Mod. This setting can help in reducing ghosting around the objects in the environment. Also fixes the texture shimmering issue produced by shiny objects. Auto exposure setting is on now. Base resolution 720p upscale to full HD resolution. Everything's working very nicely. Click on save and close. Yeah, there's a character. Just observing the image quality. The tree branches are looking so sharp. Character model is looking so detailed. Transform model of DLSS for you. And just play the game. It's a Souls-like game which simultaneously takes place in two worlds. The world of the dead called the Umbral and the world of the living called the Axiom. This is the Axiom. We can peek into the Umbral at any time from the Axiom using our Umbral lamp. See, the game does not end upon dying. We just go from the Axiom to the Umbral. Need to interact with an effigy in the umbral to return to the axiom. If we fail to do this and die again, the game will be over. Okay, 70 to 80 FPS without frame generation. Hitting the GPU bottleneck here. Now I'll enable the in-game FSR frame generation. Should work properly on. Resume the game. Yeah, I can observe that amount of smoothness. It's working. It's definitely working. Game's HUD elements are not flickering. Only the DLSS debug overlay is flickering. As expected, the overlay is not a part of the game's interface. You can disable it using the registry file which we created earlier. I'll quickly do this. Select the file, right click, select edit in notepad and just replace the number 4 here with 0. Click on file, click on save, close, run this registry file. Okay, that's it. Run the game using rungame.bat file. Disable the online mode from the multiplayer settings. Resume the game from the same point. Here we are getting close to 120 FPS. This game uses Unreal Engine 5. It's still prone to traversal stutters. Whenever you enter in a new area, there will be a few hitches here and there. But the performance is much better now compared to its launch build. Need to take out this guy on the high ground. Throwing fire bombs at me. Here you go. There's a formidable foe nearby. There it is, knight. This knight uses fire elemental effects, good for testing the game. See the sprinkling effects. I'll keep my distance. Wild swings. I did a lot of damage. Heal myself. Yeah, the knight is slow. It's done. There you go. So that's how you enable DLSS for Upscaler in conjunction with FSR frame generation in the PC Gamepass version of the game. Hopefully the developers will fix this issue soon, as we cannot use the online mode with mod enabled. That's it with the video guys. I hope you find it useful. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.